Hello, we're going to go ahead and create a new project or new file in Autodesk Inventor. So you could double click Autodesk Inventor if you need to. I already have mine open. So right now I have to go ahead and create a new part. Now I could do this one of two ways. I could click the part icon here, or I could hit new and select part. So if you hit here, it's going to just open it right away. I'm going to hit this new button, standard IPT, I hit create. And then as this goes ahead and loads up, I want to go ahead and be able to select Start 2D Sketch. We always start in 2D, and now once I clicked on that, you'll notice that all this comes up. And I always select the XY plane. That reminds me of math class. Anytime you're working on a coordinate plane, go ahead, you always use X and Y with your paired numbers. So now that I'm here, I selected my X and Y. I'm able to go ahead and navigate through. Some things that are helpful, right now I'm using the mouse. I'm just scrolling in and out with the middle wheel. I could always double click on the wheel and it brings me back to this nice home spot. So this is how I start a new file. Now, one thing that you should get in the habit of is making sure to save right away. So if I hit this as a disk, if I hit this the first time, I hit save, says, oh, you cannot save in sketch mode. Would you like to exit sketch mode and continue to save? Sure, hit OK. Now once I do that, if I created that folder correctly in our projects, it should say STEM folder right away. Now if you see this, that's a good sign. I could always click this down arrow and double check that, yep, that's my first initial and then last name. That's the spot I wanted to save. And for this one, I'm going to call it ADD and then my last name, because this is going to be my additive file. So right there, I went ahead and saved. And I could double click on this sketch one again to continue working in it. And now you see that I'm here. So I have a whole row of bars here. So I'm in sketch mode. So this is letting me do different things. I have line, circle, arc, rectangle. So I have all these different things I could do. Now, on Google Classroom, I do have a PDF document. It looks something like this. It's 10 pages. It says additive and subtractive modeling. Now I'll be using this to go ahead and create a sketch. And each slide, as you can see, I just went to slide 2, gives me dimensions. So it looks like I'm going 1.5 inches up, 1.5 inches over, and then 0.75 inches down, 0.75 inches over, 0.75 inches down, and then bring it all the way back. So I got to do this all in sketch 1. So I'll go ahead and go to Inventor, and I'm going to use that line tool. Clicked it once, and I always start at 0. So it turns green, and you can see the X and the Y says 0. Click on that one time, and I want to start bringing it up. And now as I start bringing it up, I need to go ahead and go 1.5. I didn't click anything yet. I could always go back to that PDF and see, oh, it was 1.5. I could go back to Inventor, didn't click anything yet. And you notice that it's already highlighted in blue. I could use the keyboard and type it in. So instead of, you don't have to hit backspace, just go ahead and type in the number. If I hit backspace, then my line disappeared. So anytime you're trying to type in a dimension, you want to make sure you type right in. Because if I see it here and if I try to hit delete, it got rid of my line that I started at 0, 0. Oh, that one I didn't start at 0, 0. I could hit backspace, get rid of it. Again, just my line tool. Start here at 0, 0. And I want to take it straight up 1.5. So I could type in 1.5. What's very important, I could hit the tab key. And when I hit the tab key, it doesn't snap the line into place. It just shifted over to see what degrees it was at. And this is at 90 degrees. So you can see this is a straight line up. So I could hit the enter key or click with the mouse. Now when I did that, you might see like, oh, it's off the screen. If I double click the wheel, it zooms out some. I could also zoom out on the wheel. And now I could continue going around and do my next dimension. And if I forget what it was, I could just click on that document, which you might have open in Chrome in Google Classroom, and find the other dimension. So as I see, it's 1.5. So I could go back and I could continue to make it, typing in the remainder of the dimensions. Again, hit the tab key. I want to make sure it's nice and straight. Click, go straight down. Needed to be 0.75. Tab, straight down. Click, go across. Needed to be 0.75. Hit tab. Click, and then straight down. Click, and then back home, and it should turn green. So once I click that, I could hit finish sketch, and you should be able to see that it looks similar to what we created here. So our next step is when we need to go ahead and extrude. It says extrude the shape to appropriate thickness. So I click on Inventor, finish this sketch, and I could hit the extrude button. And now it's asking me distance. I want to have this, I believe, to 0.75. Now I'm not sure, so I could go back and click here. Yes, it was 0.75. So I go back to Inventor. 0.75 is selected. I hit the green check, and I just created my box. So far, not totally done, but I created it. Well, at this point, you might want to go ahead and change the color. So if you see the default, I could click on default, and I could change it into a different color. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and choose driftwood, and now it looks like a piece of wood. This just makes it pop out of the screen a little bit. All right, and then if you go ahead and continue looking at the PDF, you can see what your next steps are, and you'll continue that for all three. By the time you're done with the assignment, you will have 3 pieces: the additive, subtractive, and the combo piece. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much.